Hello guys, this is Kirill, your justice analyst from Belarus living in Germany. And today I am very excited but also scared because it's time to react to Iceland. Well, Iceland, I have to say, is one of my favorite Eurovision countries. They send so many amazing entries in the past, nowadays, there are so many iconic ones. And when I saw that Iceland is kind of in almost all rankings by bookmakers, Eurovision scoreboard, almost everywhere on the last or second to last place, I started sort of panicking. The only relief for me was just a few days ago when I was reacting to Moldovan song and I realized, well, it is ranked everywhere so low, but I love it. So I still keep a little bit of hope for Iceland in my heart, and especially taking into account who will be the representative of Iceland. And it will be a legendary Hera Björk. I have to say, Hera, for me, is one of the artists who made me to fall in love with Eurovision, following her Eurovision journey in 2010 with Je ne sais quoi. With an absolutely amazing album, Waiting for the Night, released after that, where one of the lead singles, Because You Can, she performed at some famous festival in Chile, which she actually won. And also not forgetting her legendary song Someday, which she performed at the Dansk Melody Grand Prix 1 year before she went to Eurovision to represent her home country, Iceland, which didn't win the selection, finished second, but which afterwards won the OJE Second Chance competition and which became a legend in the Eurovision community. Together, shining like the stars forever, one day you and I. Also in 2019, this beautiful, already actually 52 years old lady tried to represent Iceland with a beautiful ballad, Moving On. I remember it was also not that appreciated in the Eurovision fan community, but I actually like the song. I still listen to it from time to time. So I really hope that Scared of Heights is also something what maybe is not for everyone, but I would like. So let's just go and see her live performance from the Icelandic national selection. So Hera might be scared of heights. I'm a little bit scared of listening to her song because I really don't want to be disappointed. But yeah, I'm still quite positive. So let's see Scared of Heights by Hera. Well, the beginning is quite nice with this gospel. Reminds me a little bit of Move by the Mamas. That's life. So far, definitely nothing to complain about.
Look how far we made it, standing on the edge of a promise. I'm not one to take risks. Getting hurt taught me to be cautious.
I'm not the one to take risks, to be precautious. The song kinda sounds like she's not into taking the risks. It sounds quite safe, a little bit generic maybe, but I hope it's just the beginning. Yeah, let's see how it develops.
Maybe we should leave this, 'cause what would be the use of crashing into you? We could end up in pieces.
This was a little bit of a false note there. It really feels a little bit like the song of the Mamas was starting. So it reminds me of that song Move. It's just, I would say, like a weaker version of Move, but I hope the chorus will be a really powerful one.
Don't need another heart-shaped cruise. I feel it coming. Been here.
Well, this I Feel It Coming was actually quite catchy. I like that. Also quite nice instrumental in the background. So maybe it's not so bad.
Falling in love has got me scared of. Yeah, I know we're going sky high.
Well, this part is quite nice, her voice is quite powerful. It just lacks maybe a little bit of something, a little bit of energy. Maybe some actually cool dancers would be quite nice for the song. I feel like she's a little bit too alone on stage, even though there are these backing vocalists in the background. But yeah, it feels a little bit too static at the moment.
So what if we forget how to fly? Baby, I'm wondering. Falling in love has got me scared of heights.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a lot of Melodifestivalen entries, like, you know, kind of the generic ones, which in the end don't finish so high. Here are some examples. It definitely doesn't sound dated, it sounds quite modern, but it doesn't sound really impactful so much. So I don't know, and Hera doesn't really feel enjoying herself that much on stage, I feel like.
Driving with my heart first. Can't enjoy the view from up here. Baby, we should leave this.
But she's still amazing. Her vocals, you know, her smile, her stage presence is actually great. It's just, yeah, it feels a little bit awkward with the song, I would say so.
What would be the use of crashing into you? We could end up in pieces.
This part of the song is really like this pre-chorus really sounds wrong. I don't know, this mix of her vocal with the backing vocals, they just feel like a mismatch for some reason.
Don't need another heart-shaped bruise. I feel it coming.
I think she actually looks stunning. Red is really her color. It actually also brought her luck in Eurovision. I mean, if you consider her final result as luck, but she actually finished third in her semi-final back then, so which was a great result for a small country like Iceland. But yeah, this performance is just pretty empty, pretty hollow. Those dancers in the background, these backing vocal dancers, they really give us more or less nothing. I really feel like this song would profit from some cool, young, handsome dancers behind her doing some breakdance, whatever, just something to give it more life. And even the background visual is pretty static. So yeah, I think they can definitely do much more with the song on the Eurovision stage.
Falling in love has got me scared of heights. They know we're going sky high. So what if we forget how to fly? Baby, I'm wondering. If falling in love has got.
Yeah, this was now very obvious that she was just lip syncing to that backing vocal, because that note was actually going pretty high. This one would be quite impressive, but Hera has a wonderful vocal, but she's still, you know, not the same league as, for example, Natalia Barbu from Moldova. She's not that technically perfect vocalist, but she really compensates that with her charisma, stage presence, and she's just such a lovely person. I remember I met her when I was at the Eurovision in concert 2015 or 16, and one of those years she was there. I think she was even like a host for the full evening, and she was performing some of her songs. She's so adorable and so funny, so it was really such a pleasure to be around her. And yeah, it feels a little bit sad that she's back to Eurovision with this. I think she definitely deserves something better.
I'm scared of heights. I feel it coming. I feel it coming. I feel it coming. I feel it coming.
Well, it has a nice climax, you know, it's still the staging is very poor. I hope they change everything basically for the Eurovision performance, especially those 4 people who are with her on stage. You know, live backing vocalists are not necessary. They can be pre-recorded. She just really needs some young dancers to give it some, you know, energy, modern futuristic visuals, young dancers. So this would really benefit to the song a lot.
Been here before and never got it right.
Yeah, and this backing vocalist was just a bit of like this kind of moves there really given nothing. I think it only lowers the energy of the song, makes it feel dated, even though actually the song is absolutely not dated. You can even compare it a little bit to the song of Saba, like even some instrumentals are similar to the ones in the song of Denmark. So yeah, it feels very sad what they have done with the song and what they have done to Hera, basically.
Falling in love has got me scared of heights. Oh, I'm scared of heights. Fell a couple times and I barely made it out alive. So baby, I'm wondering.
On this note now towards the end was actually quite beautiful. I also didn't really like that they were, giving her hand when she was like going down. And in this kind of up-tempo song where you really want to see some dancing, party mood, and then, they give to the lead singer hand just simply because maybe she's a little bit older and she doesn't feel super confident to just jump on those stairs during her live performance. Well, then just remove those stairs, do something else. Like this really doesn't help.
If falling in love has got me scared of heights.
Still, she is wonderful. I actually really like her jewelry and her outfit. I think it looks super great. It's just, I wish different staging and maybe even different song for her. Yeah, it really breaks my heart a little bit to see Hera coming back to Eurovision with this kind of song, because I really feel at this point of time that there is no way she's qualifying to the final. I don't know what kind of performance they have to bring in order to save this song, but so far for me, this is like one of the first definite non-qualifiers this year. And if we take a look at the lyrics, they're unfortunately also a little bit generic. So the song Scared of Heights tells us sort of about the scare and struggle getting into relationship, getting into, like serious attachment to a person. So Hera is singing that she has been there before, never got it right. So she was basically in relationships. And well, if she is now thinking about getting into a new one, probably they were not the happiest ones. And she's also singing that she's scared of crashing into you, that she could end up in pieces, and she doesn't need another heart-shaped bruise. So basically really being scared of getting heartbroken in the end. So that's what the song is about. And let's talk about how Iceland was rated by the televoters in the semifinals of the last 5 and last 15 years. So if we look at the last 15 years, they're ranked 11th, which puts them on place 8 in this semifinal. But if we look only at the last 5 years, they're on place 14 overall, which means place 10 in the semifinal. And 10 is, kind of very, very much borderline. So even their historical record, don't really considering how weak the Son of Hera is this year, is also not very optimistic. So we can see that in those 15 years where Iceland was taking part, they managed to finish first 2 times. Once, of course, with Johanna. And then 10 years later with a complete opposite song from Hatari. And Iceland also was second 2 times, and one of them was by Hera herself in 2010 with Je ne sais quoi. So she ranked 3rd in overall because of the juries as well, who put her a little bit lower, but with the televoters she was 2nd. So really amazing result. Unfortunately this year she will not be able to repeat or beat it. Because if we take a look at the bookmaker odds, we can see that in odds to qualify from her semifinals, she's ranked last. Well, together with Moldova, I would say the coefficients are kind of similar. So it feels like there is not really much hope for Iceland this year. I don't know what kind of miracle has to happen so that they manage to qualify. And even if we talk about the running order, Iceland has been lucky to be drawn second half of the first semifinal. So, kind of weaker semifinal, second half. But then the producers have given Hera the earliest spot in the second half, so spot number 8, which means she will perform after Croatia. So generally, the later you perform, the higher your chances to qualify are. But I think the producers are pretty sure that this song will not really suffer much from being the first in the second half, because it anyway has no chance of qualifying, especially now after being after Croatia, this adrenaline rush in the Croatian performance, which will be super memorable. And then comes Hera with, one of the most forgettable songs. And as for her stage and concepts, as I have said during my reaction to her live performance from the Icelandic selection, I think they should completely erase what we have seen there and completely redesign the whole stage. And they need some young guys dancing with her, dancing around her, do it in a more playful mood. So if it will become slightly trashy, then it has a chance of being rated high by the televoters. But in this concept where, the backing vocalists are not really giving us anything, where they're holding the hand of Hera so that she can with confidence, go down the stairs, it's not really something what gives much to this actually quite active and uplifting song, because the live performance was definitely no match for that. So this was my opinion about the song. I hope I didn't hurt feelings of anyone, because for sure there are some of you who really like the song, who think it definitely deserves to qualify and that it will rank quite high. But objectively speaking, I don't think it stands any chance. Here I'm supposed to share just opinion with you. Maybe it's the type of a song I would actually download and listen to. This is something quite, accessible, quite radio friendly, but that's not a right entry for Eurovision.